Now, who would have thought we'd see teachers trained on the rifle range? America is a country held hostage by its own weapons. And it is so bad, teachers in one state are being taught to fight fire with fire.
This is just basically a taste. This is the taste of what firearms are.
America's love affair with guns puzzles and perplexes the rest of the world.
Have you fired a gun before?
I have.
Do you own a gun?
I do own a gun.
A society so heavily armed, there's now more weapons in the country than people.
Not everybody should pack a gun.
Like many states, here in Utah, teachers can legally carry guns in schools, and some are choosing to arm themselves. So the Sheriff's Department decided if they were going to have guns, then they should be taught how to use them. They created the Teachers Academy, a 20-hour voluntary course on how to deal with an active shooter.
Not a lot of people ever get to shoot in a hothouse like this. This is pretty much SWAT. This is what SWAT does.
House is hot!
Navigating today's exercises in this hothouse is Sean Buffton, the undersheriff at the Utah County office.
The normal public never get to come in and shoot inside of a home, which is so much different than shooting on a static range with just paper targets.
The group of mostly women face a series of confronting situations, gunmen in classrooms, discovering hostages, all requiring split-second decisions.
Is this something that you worry about every day when you go to work?
Absolutely. But because I've been trained to think about possible scenarios. And so I do think about if somebody came into the front doors, what I would do. And if this happened, what would I do?
It's a mental game that, thankfully, Aussie teachers and school staff never have to play. Kristen Dunford has been exposed to firearms her whole life and feels confident using a weapon. She works in the front office at the local public school in Utah, where her grandchildren and nieces attend.
Do you take the gun to school?
Yes, I have a concealed carry and I do have it at school with me.
But for many of these teachers, today is the first time they've picked up a gun.
I would consider it. I don't think I'm ready yet because this is my first experience with it, but I'm interested in training more and getting more comfortable.
Jolynn Prisby has been an educator for 15 years. She's a teacher in the 3rd grade.
I've taught for so long, I know exactly where I'd put my kids. I know how to make my door lock really fast. And then my kids would all be in the corner of my room and I would be with them in the corner of my room. If I heard shots, definitely would put things in front of the door.
It's difficult to comprehend, but there have been 380 school shootings since Columbine in 1999. They've been incrementally climbing since 2018, excluding when schools were shut for the pandemic. Guns are now the leading cause of death in American children, 5 times more likely to be shot than to drown.
The course is designed to help teachers make good decisions in high-stress situations. 3 minutes are critical.
If you can just hold on for 3 minutes, if you can do the lockdown, if you can protect your kids for 3 minutes, we're coming. And in this county, we're coming.
But even when schools and law enforcement execute a textbook response,
Let's go!
Innocent lives are still lost. In February this year, 3 young students and 3 staff were killed at the Covenant School shooting in Nashville. While after the tragedy in Uvalde in May of 2022, the worst school massacre in a decade, some states made it easier for school employees to obtain a gun. By law, principals are not allowed to ask if teachers are carrying weapons. The call to arm teachers is a divisive one, but the strategy is now the leading solution, promoted by gun advocates and Republicans.
This course is not designed for us to arm teachers. That's not what it's about. One of our classes is de-escalation, and when somebody that's got a mental issue has come in and is threatening people, how do you deal with him or her, get her to calm down, him or her to calm down?
The United States has had countless moments to introduce gun reform, but those who want it are left with the overwhelming feeling nothing will change. and teachers are left to grapple with a uniquely American problem.
And do you think you would have the confidence in the moment to shoot someone if a gunman came into your school?
I think I would. I don't want to fight until it absolutely was necessary. I wouldn't go chasing down a gunman, but I would get the people in my area safe, and then if necessary, I think I could.
Yeah, it really beggars belief they have to take those steps at all. After the most recent mass shooting in Texas last month, President Biden urged Congress to pass laws banning assault rifles and enforce tougher background checks. But sadly, we've heard it all before, and sadly again, there has been no change.